Time for some business news with you now, and Delano de Souza is here in the studio to give us that. Delano, hello, good morning, and we're starting with a profit warning from Samsung.
That's right, Belle. The South Korean giant says it expects to take a $3 billion hit to its operating profit in the next 2 quarters. This as it grapples with the fallout from the Galaxy Note 7 phone recall. Earlier this week, the company cut its profit guidance by 33%. Samsung says it will be expanding the sale of its other smartphone models like the Galaxy S7 and S7 Edge. With the recalls for the Note 7 underway now, many consumers say they're not off the brand just yet.
I still support Samsung because I trust this brand. It makes good cell phones. I exchanged my Note 7 for an S7 this time. That also means I still trust Samsung. I didn't switch to another brand.
Samsung gave us the opportunity to sell their products. So when this issue cropped up, we were afraid customers would no longer trust their products.
Samsung shares are trading in the green for the second straight day, up around 1.25%. This has pushed the Kospi higher this session, and it's a mixed picture elsewhere in Asia this Friday. The Nikkei ended the week up 0.5%. The Shanghai Composite is currently trading near the flat line, this despite positive data showing inflation increased 1.9% year-on-year in September. Here in Europe, stocks have just begun the session. We are seeing all the main indices opening in the green. The CAC 40 here in Paris leading those gains, up around 0.5% at this hour.
And next, we're moving on to a very public spat that took place between the UK's largest supermarket chain and Unilever. Now, that's ended.
That's right. It was briefly called Marmite Gate, incidentally. That's right. Tesco says its dispute over who should bear the costs of a weakening currency has been shelved. Now, the plunging pound is just one of the consequences that comes with the uncertainty surrounding Brexit proceedings. The European Council President, meanwhile, says the UK cannot enjoy the benefits from the single market while limiting the movement of EU citizens. Donald Tusk says it will either be a hard Brexit or nothing at all. Brian Quinn reports.
It was a worrying sign for British consumers. Empty shelves where the Marmite they either love or hate once stood. A pricing dispute between the UK's largest retailer Tesco and its largest consumer goods company Unilever had led Unilever to halt deliveries of the sticky brown yeast extract, as well as other grocery items. But the goods are now flowing again, a relief for Marmite lovers and also for the two companies, who settled their spat on Thursday. Unilever had been demanding a 10% price hike, citing cost increases due to the falling pound in the wake of the Brexit vote.
No brand is that strong that it can withstand customer reaction. And I think the British public ought to say, I'm not prepared to just fund a blanket 10% increase across the board.
The falling pound and its effect on consumers is just one side effect of Brexit. More are sure to come as the UK negotiates its withdrawal from the EU. The hard Brexit option, in which Britain gives up access to the union's single market, is looming. Former London mayor and Brexiteer Boris Johnson made a campaign slogan out of Britain having its EU cake and eating it, reaping the benefits of the EU market without bowing to its legislation. European Council President Donald Tusk recalled the slogan Thursday in his assessment of the situation.
There will be no cakes on the table for anyone. There will be only salt and vinegar. The only real alternative to a hard Brexit is no Brexit.
British Prime Minister Theresa May says the country will formally file its withdrawal motion by the end of March.
Brian Quinn reporting there. Moving on now. Verizon's legal team says it has reason to believe the recently disclosed data breach at Yahoo has a material impact on its pending €4.8 billion acquisition offer. The statement leaves open the possibility that Verizon could try and revise the price of the deal. Earlier this week, its chief executive vowed not to walk away from the acquisition. Yahoo, meanwhile, has put out a statement saying it's confident of its value. And finally, car sales in the European Union have risen 7.2% in September. This as growth from Spain and Italy rose double digits. Modest gains were also seen coming from Germany, France and the United Kingdom. New car sales in the EU grew 8% in the first 9 months of 2016 to 11.2 million vehicles. More business news coming on a little later on France 24. I'll hand it back to you now.
Thank you very much, Delano de Souza, there with the business.